Hi there, gorgeous, and a very happy Frugal Friday to you. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I make videos like this every Friday focusing on drugstore and affordable products, so please subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos coming out in the future. Today I am reviewing a palette that is a dupe for, drumroll please, the Anastasia Norvina palette, and that is another one of those great ones from Bad Habit. They came out with a next to near identical dupe in their Luna palette. So I'm showing you a side-by-side comparison between these two today. I'll also show you swatches towards the end of this video, and I will let you know, is it worth getting or not? Hi. Usually when I do my side-by-side dupe comparison videos for you, I don't reveal which side is which, but I'm going to break those rules here today and let you know I'm going to be using the Anastasia Norvina palette on this eye, and I'll use the Bad Habit Luna palette on this eye. I do already have an eyeshadow primer applied. I wanted to let you know that up front. I used the NYX Proof It today. First eyeshadows I am taking from each of these palettes is a light neutral brown. We're going to use that as a transition. So in the Anastasia palette, it's called Incense, and in Bad Habit's version, it's called Aphelion. And applying that into the crease, like that, very pigmented from the Anastasia side. I had very little on my brush before I applied it right there. Same thing over here with Bad Habit. Very little amount on this brush. You can see it's not as pigmented as the Anastasia side, but that's okay. That's okay. For the price difference, we can build it. It's not a problem. Pigmentation is still great. It takes a little bit more eyeshadow on the brush. And I can already tell you too that I like the color from Bad Habit much better than the Anastasia one. This one looks very muddy to me, where this one actually looks like the eyeshadow that you see in the pan. Something happened from the pan to the eye with the Anastasia eyeshadow here. It looks almost gray brown, and that's not what it looks like in the pan. You can see what I'm talking about here. Look at that shade right there. That does not look like what's on my eye, does it? It looks a little darker. All the dupe videos that I've done, I've tend to notice that the dupes sometimes render the colors much better from pan to eye than the high-end palettes do, for whatever reason. Then I'm going in with the light shimmery pink from both of these palettes. From Anastasia, it's Wild Child, and from the Luna palette, it is Meridian. Very easy to pick up that eyeshadow from the Anastasia palette. Great color payoff right there. Really intense application with it. And I didn't need that much on my brush. That eyeshadow does fall apart though. The second that you press your brush into it, it tends to crumble under the smallest amount of pressure that you place with your brush. And then going in here with the shade from the Bad Habit palette. Same great color payoff. I did not need much on my brush on this side either. The eyeshadow is a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Packed together, I guess I want to say. It's not anywhere near as crumbly as the Anastasia eyeshadow was. It doesn't fall apart when you put your brush into the pan. Looking gorgeous so far. And so far, not a real difference between the two sides. Like I mentioned, that Anastasia crease color is a little darker than the Bad Habit one over here. But so far the lid colors look pretty identical. Next, I'm taking a purple eyeshadow. It will be Celestial from the Anastasia palette and Half Moon from the Luna palette. Gorgeous purple, oh my goodness. I'm applying this onto the outer half of the lid. That is so pretty. And with the Bad Habit palette, same great application as Anastasia's palette. No real difference there. A lot of fallout with that eyeshadow on both eyes, not just this eye. This eye a little more than this one, perhaps. Finally, I'm taking a really dark shade from both of these palettes. From the Anastasia palette, it's called Passion, and from the Luna palette, it's called Dark Side. You guessed it! If you've seen enough of my tutorials, you know that I love to do this. I'm applying this into the outer V and the outer crease of the eye. Going to add some dimension, bring the eyes forward. Little light and pigmentation going on to the Anastasia side. And on this eye, it's a little bit more pigmented with the Bad Habit palette. A little bit more fallout with that last eyeshadow on the Bad Habit side, but you can brush it away. That application was so quick that I'm going to continue doing my eyes so you can see how I'm completing the process. I've had a lot of people ask me, why don't you complete your eyes fully on camera? So I'm going to do that just for you. If you would like to skip ahead to the wear test and the end of the video where I give my full review and swatches, you can go to that number right there. But if you want to stick around and hang out with me a little bit more, let's go. Trying to think of how I want to finish these eyes today. I think I want to add a wing. I'm still really loving these wing stamps from Vogue Effects. I talked about these in a video a long time ago. I want to say last year. They're great because they have the eyeliner stamp on them for each side. So this one is for my left eye and this one's for my right eye. And then you just draw in the rest. It makes it so easy. Even if you know how to do a wing, this is great when you're in a rush. I mean, it really is. I rely on it a lot. I'm trying to get ready to go right now, and I don't have time to make sure everything is symmetrical. Not sponsored, I just really love this product. Although the company did reach out to me when I first talked about it and asked me if they could use my video in an ad, which I did approve of because I've had some people bring it to my attention. So really appreciate you bringing it to my attention. But yes, they do have full approval to use my image on this product. I hear a temper tantrum in progress in the house. Oh, my poor husband. Jet turns 2 in December, and he's already at that stage where he's trying to manipulate and control. And the way that he does that is by kicking and screaming and trying to get his way. And we've just started letting him lay himself flat on the floor and go for it. What else are you gonna do? And the second that he realizes you're not watching, oh, then he stops. It's amazing how that happens. When I really want to sharpen a wing, I use this little trick. I'll take a makeup removing wipe and I will put it on my finger. This is so bad for your eyes. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I don't do it that often. And I will run it along the edge there to remove some of the eyeliner and sharpen up the line. Like I said, try not to make a habit of it because it's so bad for the skin around your eyes. But sometimes I just want a really sharp wing. Oh, we kind of lost the purple there on the eyes, but it's okay. I like this look too. On my brows, I'm not using a drugstore pencil. I'm sorry. This is the one that just happened to be right in front of me right here. This is my Givenchy brow pencil in the shade Blonde. But I also really love Sephora's brow pencil in Auburn and NYX's micro brow in Auburn. I just don't see them right here in front of me at the moment. Applying a mascara. This is the one from Rimmel that I talked about recently in my must-haves, must-nots video. And for my lashes, I am testing out a ton of samples right now for my lash line Inky Minky lashes. We're getting ready to add a whole new round of synthetics. And this is a pair that I have been testing now for the past week or so, and I really love them. I absolutely love them. They are getting added to the line. I had some questions about what they were when I wore them in a video recently, so I'm sorry I can't tell you what they are exactly because I haven't named them yet, but they will be available in 2019. But I mean, hey, if you want to help me name them, go for it. This is what they look like. They are more of a cat eye type lash. They fan out at the edges. They're really pretty. I got my face done and I went back and added some more of that crease color, Incense from Anastasia and Aphelion from the Bad Habit palette on the lower lash line right there. And I'm also going to add a brown eyeliner. This is one of the LA Girl Ultimate Intense Stay Auto Liners in the shade Deepest Brown. And after wearing both of these palettes for 8 hours straight, this is what they looked like on my eyes. Excellent, excellent. If you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the Norvina palette, the Bad Habit Luna palette is an excellent choice. And I was very impressed by this one in terms of performance, quality, shade selection, pigment, color payoff. everything. I mean, it is an A+++ palette, and I highly recommend it to you. And you can see in the swatches here side by side, comparing these two palettes, they are identical. It's really hard to tell the two apart. And actually, like I had mentioned in the application portion, I like some of the shades in the Luna palette just a little bit more than the Norvina palette. I was a little bit disappointed by this one, to be honest. I mean, Anastasia typically does not disappoint me, but some of the colors in this palette do not come across on the eyes like they look in the pan. Whereas this one, they look true to pan once you get them on your eyes. Now there are some subtle differences I'll mention between the two if you're curious. For example, on the back of the Norvina palette, it says it expires in 18 months. On the Luna palette, it says 12 months. Both are cruelty-free. You get a little bit more product with the Luna palette compared to the Anastasia palette. For example, this says on the Norvina palette, you get 0.02 ounces for each eyeshadow. In the Luna palette, you get 0.47 ounces per eyeshadow. So that's quite a difference in the amount that you're given. And look at the price. Let me know your thoughts on either of these palettes, or if you've tried out the Bad Habit palette, feel free to share your experience with it below also. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I want to wish you a wonderful weekend ahead.